I might be the most unlikely skilled trade business owner you'll ever meet, but I did own a skilled trade business for about 15 years. I was an owner operator, and in this video, I'm going to talk to you about what AI cannot do for your service business. So the first thing that AI cannot do, my light just went out. First thing AI cannot do for your service business is it cannot create your processes for you. So this is the AI is going to be able to do a ton of boring stuff in your business, right? However, the boring stuff you've been avoiding, you will probably have to do first. So you can't layer AI over no system. If most of your systems are verbal or just, you hire people, you do training, they shadow somebody, they do on the job training, but nothing's really written down for that particular role, that is not something that you would be able to layer AI over. Now, why would you want to use AI, let's say, for a technician? Because technician is going to go to the job and he's going to do the work. Well, I don't need AI for him. But where AI would be helpful, and I wanted to start with all the things it cannot do, but I thought of this, where it will be helpful is for that technician, for tracking their time, for getting that time back to the office, for tracking that time against the job that was quoted, for job costing, for making sure that the correct materials have been ordered, tracking the materials for the job, things that you do have access to right now. Let's say in QuickBooks, you can do job costing, but you at this point probably have to go in and pull that report. Well, what you can do with AI is build dashboards and tools and all sorts of integrated things that can track these activities from your technician in the field in real time, and then actually fire that data off to the people that need it instead of you having to sit down and run a report. Now, back to what AI cannot do for your business, but it cannot create those systems for you. If one of the things, let's say the biggest headache in your business is that job costing is always going over. Well, maybe you ask your admins to give you a report weekly. Well, that's already happened, hasn't it? There's nothing you can do about it at the end of the week. You've had probably 4 guys on a job, and if it's gone over, it's gone over. But you could build an automation to track that and then be able to give you alerts, on that exact day. Hey, today we're on track. Tomorrow we'll be on track. Or if tomorrow we do what we did today, time-wise, we're going to go over. So, but the other thing that it cannot do for you is create the process itself. Like you have to know what you want to have happen in your business. So you're going to probably start with the things that are driving you bonkers, the things that you wish would just fix themselves, and then you will have to be involved in creating that system or process. AI can help you with that. For example, if you needed to create some systems, or if you wanted to figure out what systems you were missing, you could start off by recording some of your meetings. Like I'm sitting here talking to you. Well, if you have a Zoom meeting with somebody or a phone call with somebody, you could, with the permission of your team, just for a week, record all of those activities and then transcribe them and feed them into AI. And from there, it could help you to build out the systems, but you will still have to review them and you will still have to give guidance. You, a team member, a key employee, key man, office manager, whoever. But it's just these AI things aren't going to build or do themselves, right? You guys are going to have to oversee it. So the next thing that AI will not be able to do for you is to remove you, the owner, as a bottleneck. So if you've been running your business for more than 10 years and you're doing more than $1 million in revenue, chances are that you may not be burned out, but you can probably see signs of like, why is it always me? And why do I always have to answer these questions? Or why do I have to be the one that goes back to the office at 7:00 to get that estimate out? Because, the estimator or the person in the office is doing the quote isn't comfortable until I've looked at it. So you literally have to go back there at the end of the day. Well, that is something that AI can help you to design yourself out of your bottlenecks, but it can't do it for you. And one of the reasons it can't is because every time, the business owner is they're so close to everything that's happening that they can't actually see where they are the bottleneck. There's a saying that I like, and it's if you can't read the label when you're inside the jar because you're too close to it. And that's pretty much how business runs, right? You can't see it. You might have an idea that it's you, but usually you're making decisions out of frustration. You want things to happen quicker, and you just take matters into your own hands. It's just like, why can't this happen today? Why do I have to wait till Wednesday? Or why does somebody go home 2 days in a row and not have that thing done? But you still can't see it. So AI will be able to ultimately help you to remove yourself, but that is going to have to be intentional. It's not going to do it for you. The third thing that AI is not going to be able to do for you, and it's not going to be able to stop your team from either not knowing how to use the tools you already have, meaning electronic tools. For example, many people use Slack nowadays for communication, and I helped somebody build a system where, and this is for consulting work now, and I helped somebody build a system where we built these automations within their business, and then instead of people having to go and check emails, folders, make sure forms were filled out, all of this would get automated, right, from start to finish. And then what would happen is they would get an alert on their phone. All they had to do was join a particular channel on Slack, if you use Slack, and then they would just get an alert when all of this paperwork was done. Well, come to find out, unbeknownst to me, nobody could find the channel on Slack. And so what people were doing was and it's fine, but I'm just saying AI isn't going to fix this for you. What they were doing was, instead of finding the correct channel, they were just creating other channels, and they were even creating other accounts. So all of this beautiful automation was happening, but AI cannot fix the basic use of your tools that you already have available to your team. So if somebody doesn't know how to use QuickBooks and they're supposed to be in QuickBooks pulling reports, AI isn't going to fix that for you. Now, they will have to sit and watch a tutorial or get training, and then you as the business owner will have to schedule that training. So for the people that were having trouble with the Slack messages when the automation had run to do all this paperwork for them, I had to go on Zoom and I had to do a live training with them. And then when they found the information, they're like, oh, it's so simple, but they never would have found it. And what was happening is automation, if you think about a service business, AI is just like running a system, whether it be an engineering system or a plumbing system. And if you break something in that system, in that kind of chain link of things that have to happen, if you break it here, then the next thing won't happen. And it was exactly the same. So because they were making changes to everything, it was like they broke it right at the last step, and then they couldn't have access to the information. So AI is not going to fix that for you. I think it's being sold as like this amazing thing that's going to run your business for you, but you cannot layer AI over chaos. So that was going to be my next point. AI cannot fix chaos for you. And when we talk about AI, that could be anything, right? It could be you could be using Claude, you could be using ChatGPT, you could have an AI receptionist that you're using. You could have an inbox agent that checks your emails for you and creates the draft messages every day. So all you have to do is go in and check them. But if you have chaos in your life, and if you don't sit down and let's say check the email every single day to review the drafts and send them, and then you're going to have more chaos because you're going to have a build-up of drafts, and that's going to be frustrating. So I have noticed that if people they spend money and time and they put AI in place, but if they have fundamentally underneath, and I'm talking about on the operations side, if you have chaos in your day-to-day, and then even if you put AI on top of some of that, it's gonna make it more chaotic immediately, because you're actually going to see where now I have the things I'm doing, and then I have these other things going on, and it can create a mess. So it's just like you wouldn't build a house without a foundation, right? That wouldn't be a a viable project that will succeed long term. This is very much the same. When you start to look at business operations now, when you want to start implementing AI, you have to start thinking about systems, processes, training, foundations, tools. What tools are we using? What tools do we need? What tools do we not need? What's a waste of money? What's going to end up costing too much? Because now what's happening is people are putting AI in place and then there are overages. So you have to know kind of how busy you are. You have to know what things you're doing that are wasteful, that you should stop doing as you put AI in place. Now, that being said, if I still owned that's my service business, here's what I would do to begin putting AI in place. We've talked about all the things that AI cannot do for you. So where do you start? The first thing you want to start with is a self-audit. Now, audit sounds like a terrible word, but that's what you're going to need to do. So you will want to pull your organizational chart, get a list of every piece of software that you use, have your office manager give you that, get a list of everything that is done manually in the field, in the office, in the shop, wherever. So all of your online software type tools, all the tasks that are done online in the cloud, and then all of the things that are done manually, your organizational chart, and then you're going to map out how the business runs. You just do this on a piece of paper. It doesn't have to be fancy and it doesn't have to be AI. And from there, you can figure out all the jobs, roles, and responsibilities, all the tools you're using, all the things you have to get done. Have somebody type that up in your office and put it together. You can have the org chart in a PDF. You can just type up the list, or you can take a picture of it on your notepad. And then what you're going to do is you're going to feed that into AI. You're going to feed that into Claude or ChatGPT, and you're going to ask it. You're going to say, what would you automate in my business? Take a look at all this information I've put together and tell me how you would design this business so that it could run smoothly with AI as an operating system and helping me, the business owner, to not be the bottleneck. And then just see what it comes back with. And that's how you use AI to put automation in place. Don't just start buying tools and paying for subscriptions, because before you know it, you're going to have, just like you probably have, empty file cabinets or materials that don't get used, that just sit on the shelf. You're just going to end up with a whole bunch of things you don't use if you go straight to adding the AI. So think about a self-audit. Think about that it will be quite easy to do. You probably have the information readily at your fingertips, and then get AI to help you to know where to start and design your AI as an operating system for your business. And if you would like help from me, I run a weekly workshop on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. There will be a link in the show notes, and I will create more content like this so that you can learn about AI. I am practicing and using as well as building for other people. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I owned a blue collar trade business, so I understand what's going on behind the scenes and can definitely make recommendations that will make your life easier, not harder.